Meet Callum, a 22-year-old university student. He's part of a growing number of young people with an addiction so nefarious it consumes his every waking moment. Callum is addicted to plastic crack. Callum, can you tell us about your first experience with plastic crack?
I can. I remember it was a while ago. I walked into the local games workshop. I said hello to the manager. I saw from the outside that people seemed jovial. They were enjoying themselves. There were nice painted miniatures. It looked like you'd got something for your money. And so I walked into the store and I asked the manager how I got into this and how to get into it. And he said, well, there's a white dwarf over here. It's got a free miniature in it. Why don't you pay for this and then see how you feel about putting it together and painting it up? So I did, foolishly. And I took it home and I put this one all together, and I had never felt such gratification. It was almost as if it was a high. I remember it vividly, the first time.
So what you're saying is that your first miniature was effectively free?
Yes, yeah.
Was the second miniature free?
No. It spiralled out of control in terms of cost.
And what happened next?
Well, I became so addicted, I just bought and ended up with quite a mighty collection in such a short space of time.
Callum's addiction steadily grew throughout the weeks, and before he knew it, he had 20,000 points of painted blood angels. But it didn't stop at blood angels, did it, Callum?
No. No, it didn't. Shortly after painting the 22,000 points of blood angels, in a few weeks I developed an urge to try something else. I ended up finding my way to the Horus Heresy, and with it, Forge World. It was new, it was a higher quality, it took more time to prepare, but with that time and effort came greater results, and it was like that first plastic model at the start all over again, and I quickly became encapsulated by it.
It's not unusual for people with plastic crack addiction to graduate from the perceived safety of Games Workshop to the excellent quality miniatures that are Forge World. In fact, a recent study shows that 74.6% of people who use Games Workshop on a regular basis will develop an addiction to Forge World. It was then that this started to take a terrible toll on Callum's personal life. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Callum?
I can. It started so small, with half an hour a night of painting and building. It became game nights during the week. It became extended hobby weekends, going to events, painting endlessly through the night. At one point I'd stayed awake for 72 hours to put legs onto bases. To some people that might seem torture, but to me it was one of the best 72 hours of my life. I have missed countless lectures and seminars. I've missed birthdays. I've missed 11 funerals and 3 weddings. And that was all in the space of 6 months. Just the resin was eating away at my social life, at my time that I could spend doing anything else. And an hour away from the hobby, to me, feels like a lifetime. I get itchy fingers, my arms start to seize and I go numb, and I need to hold or paint or play with the plastic or the resin.
And is this what this is here? These are the sprues you're talking about?
These are some examples of sprues. You can see here the legs have been clipped. I was putting them on base. Like I say, this was part of my 72-hour endeavour. Sometimes I just sit and hold them. Sometimes I smell them. They're comforting. But at the end of the day, they provide me with the high, the enjoyment of building and painting and playing with my plastic toy soldiers.
And this is all you've got left? I understand.
This is all I have left. I go through it at such a fast rate. It's scary. I mean, I've had interventions. I've had people, knock on my door and ask if everything's okay, because only one lamp has been on in my house for 3 days, and it's my painting lamp. And I haven't eaten or slept or showered. And all I'm left with now at this stage is what you can see here. And the effect that it's had on my bank balance is immeasurable. I have had 3 mortgages on the same house just to keep. I've sold a kidney so that I could keep up this habit.
Well, thank you for telling us your story, Callum. I think it'll resonate with many, many people out there with this terrible, terrible addiction. We want to try and get you as much help as we can through this initiative that we've started.
Thank you.
People like Callum need your help, which is why Sprues for Callum has launched its most urgent appeal. Right now, there is at least one person called Callum in desperate need for Games Workshop and Forge World miniatures. He's forced to scavenge for sprues and is lucky to be able to build a Space Marine a day. We need your sprues. A 10-man tactical squad could keep Callum going for at least a day. A start collecting box set could last him a week. At Sprues for Callum, we know times are hard, but please donate and help us rebuild communities and change a life forever. Thank you.